Good morning and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm really glad you can join me today. Today being August, the start of August, I like to make the men's cards. And I know people might think, why? Well, it's because in August we can get ready for Father's Day. And so I tend to do quite a few men's cards in August. And so let's concentrate on them this month. Today I'm going to be working with one of the new suites in the catalogue called Take to the Skies. It's also got the bundle in it called Adventurous Sky. So we'll have a look at that in a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that we'll be making cards for the blokes this month. So keep an eye out for me and I'll give you some hints. We've got so many stamp sets in this catalogue. It's fantastic. So many stamp sets, yes, but we've got so many ones that are great for men. So we'll be able to make quite a variety of cards. In fact, when I had to choose 4 stamp sets, I'm like, well, which? There's so many. So let's have a little play today and we'll start with a Take to the Skies. So I'll turn you down to the desk. We'll have a look at this suite and all the things that are in it and then we'll get making. All right, let's go. Now, let's see if I can get you down there without making you too dizzy and without having to up on me again. Let's get away from the ceiling. I had to adjust. Oh. Are you still there? Oh, it fell out. Now I could see me, and now I can't see the desk. There we go. That's looking better. There we go. There we go. I think we're fine. It took a minute, didn't it? Sorry. Did you all get dizzy? Think I'd gone when I dropped the phone? It's okay now. We're back onto the desk. I want to show you the paper. This is called Take to the Skies, this paper. And it's beautiful. Really beautiful. I love these clouds. We will have a look at them. And then on this side, it's just a check design. Great. All this is great for men's cards. This is beautiful, isn't it? What wonderful paper. I'm actually I was going to make a card last night with this, but I ran out of time. So I will be making a card later today with this paper. I just think it's gorgeous. And I love these colours together, which we will be doing today. And then, of course, you've got your map of the elevations of the land. And then we've got all the sketches of planes and more check. We've got another map in green. This is Mossy Meadow. So we're using, the colours are, that's the copper clay, Night of Navy, basic grey, I think it is. Is it basic grey or is it smoky slate? She asks herself. It's smoky slate. And this is Mossy Meadow. And here's some Night of Navy, more Mossy Meadow with plains, and some smoky slate. That's really interesting pattern, that one. I haven't done anything. Must do something with that. And then there's this piece. We'll have a look first on this side. It's a map. We are on the map. We often aren't when we get these things, but we have North America and South America. But we have Australia, which is quite unusual for a lot of maps, so that's fantastic. But it's this side I'm concentrating on today. I love this. We've got tags, we've got all these little squares and different shapes, and we're going to use this page to make cards. I've already made a few cards yesterday, and I will show them to you. I made a card using this and the cloud paper. And so there's a card just out of that alone. Very simple, not a lot in it, just a few stamps of planes on the outside and flying by to say hi. Well, that one isn't one. I made this card using this piece and this piece. So we've got these two, and I cut out another tag shape out of the some of the other paper, and you can see the trinkets here in a plain. And again, I've just used it very simple on the inside too. That's not one of them. And this card, but it doesn't use any of the paper except a little bit of the check. But this uses the dies. So let's have a look at the dies. Here we have the stamps and dies. Now the dies cut out the clouds and the three planes, but you also have a die that will cut out this plane. It's three pieces. So you've got the back. If I put it this way maybe. Let's do it this way. We've got the base of the plane. We have the propeller. Cuts two at once, but you only need one. And we have the wings. No, that's not the wings. These are the wings. So that goes over there like that. So it's a great set to do with planes and things. Now, I never looked. Am I going live in the right place? Yes, it looks like I am. That's better. Should have looked earlier. So this I'm not going to do with you today, but you can easily put this together. It's just literally line your wheels up, line the nose of the plane up, and line the tail of the plane up, and it's on. And then one propeller just goes on here. And all I've done is coloured the wheels in. So easy to make your plane. We'll just put those dies up there so I don't lose them. So there's some of the cards I have made last night. We're going to put all this aside. I'm going to make, as I said, a card using this paper, and I'm going to use this piece and this piece. And I'm going to use some of the other paper out of the pack as the background. And the planes I'm doing are the ones here. So we'll get started. I'll put all this aside. We might start with cutting. Now, a lot of people get a bit concerned about cutting up these pieces of paper when they get them. And it's very easy. You just line up on the centre, or we can do it up this end, on the centre here with the line on the paper. And I check that both ends are lined up. And then when you cut right on the line. Now, if you get a little bit of the other one, you can just trim it off. And I'm going to cut this one. I'm not going to cut them all up today in front of you because we don't need them all, but I'll put that aside. As I said, well, I've already used one of those, but there's so many lovely pieces here. And I'm going to take this one on the end. We'll line it up again. Now, have I got a clean cut? Yes, I have. Oh, not quite. You can just see a hint of the brown. So I'm just going to put it just over and cut again. It doesn't matter if I cut a little bit of the picture off because there's plenty there. So we're going to use that one and we're going to use this one. Let's line this one up. Right. Again, I've got some of the navy, so we'll just cut a little bit off. Right. Now to do the ends here, I'm just going to trim them with the scissors. So it becomes a tag. And that's it. I'll get rid of those little pieces. Now, let's get the other pieces we're going to use. I'm going to use some of this paper as my base. And I'm going to cut it 1/2 centimetre smaller. So at 14.3. and 10. That's 1/2 centimetre smaller than the card. Now, that's for my base. I also want a piece here that's 14.3, yes. Is it? Oh, that's it. That's handy. It's a little bit shorter, but we'll make it do. I want to cut, it's going to be about I want 1 1/4 centimetres, roughly, which is actually 1/2 inch. So I need those 2 bits. And I want to make sure that the inside of my card is the same length. So I'm just going to get an exact measurement here. It's 14.2 today. So we'll make this 10. Normally it's 14.3, but they're a slight bit smaller, so let's make it 14.2 so that they work. So there's the inside of my card. We better have a card base. So that is 14.8. So it's just under, that's the exact half of that card A4. And I'm just going to pop it in the corner. I used to score them, but now I found this trick. I saw someone do it and I've learnt from it. If I pop it all in the corner, so all the corners line up in that corner, the 2 corners, I get a perfectly shut card. Now we'll pop that out of the rope. So, just where I've cut, I might just tidy up. Now, what are we going to do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these on and this on, so that we have those base parts ready. So I'm not too fussed. I'll just get a bit of glue down the centre there and put them here. Oh, now there was another part of this suite. I showed you the paper and the stamp sets, but there's also trinkets. They're industrial trinkets, and that's those there, and we will be using those today. And they're different on each side, so you can use either way. One looks like a rivet and one is a pattern side. So we'll use those when I get to the end of or finish all these bits of the card, and I'll show you how to put them on, because they're not adhesive. But we'll pop them back there for the minute. And I'm going to then glue this piece on. Now this yucky glue, I do remind you regularly, don't use too much of it. I love it. Yucky glue. Some people call it yucky glue. I love this glue. It gives you wiggle room. You can put your piece down, and if it's not in the right spot, you've got some wiggle room, and that wasn't quite right, but it'll do. So now I have these pieces. Next thing I'm going to do is stamp some planes. Now I think this might fit on here. Yes. So I'm going to stamp my planes to match in. I'm going to take my colours off here. I'm using copper clay for my plane. I'll have a big one here. And I'm going to have a little one here, or a middle-sized plane. And on this one, I'm going to use the little plane. As my daughter said, oh, it's a mummy, a daddy, and a baby plane. Oh, the things you say. What I'm going to do, though, to colour the planes is use the watercolour pencils. Now, I've chosen three colours to match in. I don't have a watercolour pencil that's this colour, which is what I would have liked, which is boho blue. I have one in balmy blue. I have one in Cajun Craze because I don't have one in copper clay. I have basic grey because there isn't one in smoky slate. And I have early espresso. So they're the ones I'm using today. And I'm going to start by just colouring. And I'm not being any a special design or anything. I'm just putting a bit of colour on my plane. Oh, we do the wheels too. A bit under here. And this wheel. And I'm going to put a bit on this one too. These are gorgeous little planes. Now, this is a fairly quick way to colour. A little bit of grey onto this one. And then I'm going to add in a bit of the Cajun. I'm not being doing any precise pattern or colouring. I'm just making sure there's a bit of each colour on each section of the plane. And then I want a bit of darkness in spots. But we may come back and do some more of this as well. So I'm then going to take, this is the blender pen. And I'm now going to just use it it will brighten up the colours, it will mix them slightly. It also can spread the colour further along. And it just smooths it all out, puts the colour into bits that you may not have put it. And I don't know if you can see, but that's made it a lot smoother and blended the two colours together where that one still hasn't. So it just finishes it off nicely. And it's also blending a little bit of the ink from the stamp as well. Makes it a little bit brighter. And I find it's not a bad way to colour. Now, I'm going to go back now with the darker colour and add in a bit more shading. just where I want to see a bit more. Just so it's got a bit more definition. Particularly this bigger one, but we'll get a little bit on here. Not so much worried about the one that's going inside the card. So, and then on the propeller, I'm just going to put some of the blue. And again over here. And I'm going to, I don't want too much of the brown in there, so I'm just going to, smudge it a bit. And that's a quick and easy way to draw your to colour in your plane. Very quick, done. And so we've got the inside of the card ready. I've got my 2 planes. I'm also going to get these pencils because I need to do a label that says happy birthday. I'm making this a birthday card. So I'm just going to take my greys just do it very lightly, and some brown. Oh, that's the dark brown. I was actually wanting the light. And I'm just going to add the blender pen to soften that. Now that's going to be for my label, my happy birthday, and I'll stamp that in Night of Navy. That way it's not going to be stark white on the card. So we need to get our dies. Let's have a look. We need this one here, and this one, and we need this one. So I will pop all these pieces aside while we get the cut and emboss machine in. So my plates are a little bit bent, this base plate, so hopefully I can cut the 2 at once. It's a bit... Got to do it with my left hand, and I'm not very good with my left hand. There we go. This might move. We'll just see how it goes. I think we'll be right. So there's those 2 cut out, my planes. We'll pop them there. And I'll just tear that. Let's make it fast. Pull this back out. I'm going to use this banner. Now this banner can be used with this piece. I'll show you in a minute. I'll cut it out and then I'll show you how you can do it. So we're just make sure we get that fairly straight and the word in it. Oh gosh, that looks good. Right. Let's pop this out of the road. And there's the banner. So it's actually got those colours that come right through. So we don't have this stark white piece. Now what I was saying is this banner, if you want, we could do it from the other planes, but it's probably better off this one. You could, I've seen people, well, it can be done. It can be done off the other planes too. The planes can pull a banner. And you could do it from any of the planes. Just pop that piece underneath. And you can, the little plane, the smaller plane, or on the bigger plane. But my card is going the other way. It's not going that way, it's going this way. So it doesn't work for me. So I will show you what we're going to do. First of all, let's glue the inside in, because that's all I'm doing. And I just love how it's got the colour on both sides. So we'll use just some glue. A gentle squeeze of your glue and move it rather quickly will get it all the way around. So there's the inside of the card. I like the look of that. And this piece, I'm just going to glue on about here. The rest are going on with dimensionals. So let's glue him on. About here, I'd say. I'll keep him inside the border. Now we'll grab some dimensionals. But before I put this one on, I want to make a hole. Now, you can use your piercing mat. Just pop it on and pierce it. But I found I want it to be a good size hole, so I'm just using this, the take your pick spike to make it a bit wider. And then I'm going to use some of this twine, and it's in copper clay. So I don't need a lot. It's a bit curly for what I wanted, but it'll do. I should have tried to straighten it. The thinner twine, if you go like this a few times, it straightens quite easily, but this one's a little bit thicker. But well, it's not too bad now. And this is how I do my little tags. I fold it in half and pull it through. And it all hasn't come through. Let's try that again. We can use the pick to get it through, because it's quite thick compared to the other twines, the baker's twines. And make a loop and just push your ends through. And give it a little gentle pull, because you don't want to tear the paper. And there is my tag. So let's get these on. This is quite thin, this paper, and I want it to sit up, so I'm going to put a few on here, because it's designer series paper and not cardstock. And I think I'll put some in the middle because I don't want it to sag. So we'll pop this one on like so. Now this set has, won't let me, I think I've got as many as I can of, has both a number of greetings in it. Now I want that fairly well up there. And I don't mind that that goes over the end. Now my planes. This plane is going to go here. So I don't need anything under that bit. So we'll just pop one down here and one down here. And I want to hold the wings up. So I'm going to use the little ones along the wings. Maybe one there to hold it up and one on this wing. So it's all, get on. Now, is that going to be enough? I need one down there, don't I? I can put a big one down there. So let's get some of these off now. Right. We're going to pop him right down the bottom here. And this one, I'm going to pop him up here. So we can pop in 2 of these. Hang on, how far over is he? That's too far. Oh, he's going to tear my paper. I'll just reuse that after. Actually, I'll show you. I've got paper on it. It's not going to stick. Just put a little drop of glue there. It'll stick now. We'll just put it. Oh, got to wait for it to dry. And I want that wheel to sit up. Oh, I don't know if that's going to fit. Is that going to fit on the wheel? Yes, it is. So let's get these off now. And this one, and you can see that's already stuck in place. And I want this to sit flat, so I'm just going to put, I don't want it to flap up, these 2 little bits, so just a little bit of glue on them. And he can fly that way. Now, I'm going to pop, I want to cover that line as much as possible, so I'm going to pop my happy birthday along there. So I just need perhaps 2 down this end to hold it. Perhaps 1 would do too. 1 would do too. That doesn't make sense. It does, but it sounds funny. And a bit of glue to keep it in place. And that's my card, but not quite, because I want to put some trinkets on. But I wanted to show you, you've got You're the Best, plain and simple. Happy Father's Day. Oh, excuse me. Happy Father's Day. You lift me up, To my friend, Flying high. And, of course, Happy Birthday, which is what we've used today. Now, I'm going to bring these trinkets in, but they have no adhesive on them. So, I'm using glue dots. And all I do, I'm going to use the rivet side up. I just get some glue dots on here and pop it on. And it's just, you can do this with any of them. If you've got a bit of bling that has lost its adhesive, you can always use these glue dots to give it some more. We're going to go for 5 today because it's a special birthday, and I love how chunky these rivets are. They're quite masculine. Oh, I'm stuck to it. And I'll put it there. So there's my card. And as I said, I've taken inspiration from here using the stamp rather than build the plain like so. And I've got a couple of planes. I've used the Cajun Craze out of the picture, as well as the Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. And inside, we're like so. So these are some of the cards I've made. I will be making some more using this set, and I do promise to put them on this week. Been a bit slack. I've had a lot of things going on. I just point out here, I've turned them upside down, these trinkets. And you can see, I hope you can see, I've used the other side. So you've got either the rivet side or the smooth side, or you've got the pattern side, I guess, starburst type pattern. So they're my cards I've got, but this one in particular is the one we did today. So hopefully that's inspired you. I love this set because it's got all the greetings you could ever need for a bloke, and it's got great colours. It's not dull and boring. It's fun and exciting. So I'm going to turn you back to me. If I'm lucky, it'll work. If I'm not, you'll get the ceiling. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that, and it's inspired you to get some Father's Day cards started to make, and start to make your Father's Day cards or some blokes cards. As I said, there's plenty of stamp sets in the catalogue. In fact, I'll give you some hints. I pulled out a pile. I'll bring them over. Here's just some of the ones we have. Let me flip it so it's around the right way. We have this way. The hot air balloon. You could give a bloke a coffee cup type card. There's the tools. We had that last year, so I have done that before. In fact, we did this card last year. This card last year using the tool set. So we have the tools. We have trucking along, which we had last year, and I did Father's Day cards with this last year. I also did Father's Day cards with Legendary Ride. You've got Grassy Grove, which you could easily do something for the guys with. There's the hamburgers, which we will do this month. There's Beside Me, which has got some great Father's Day images. And there's Stay Tuned In. So there's heaps and heaps. I hope you can make some Father's Day cards and some masculine cards so that the blokes don't feel left out. I'd love to see them. So if you do, share them with me on my page underneath, and we'll have a look at all of them. I'm sure we can see lots of different cards and inspire each other. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week, and we'll do something with one of these stamp sets I've just shown you. Have a good time. Bye-bye.